The city always slept lightly, but tonight, it felt suffocated. A heavy fog hung low across the streets, clinging to the pavement like something alive. And through it moved Mara Quinn, a 24-year-old night shift paramedic with a scar across her left brow and storm-gray eyes, her boots tapping calmly against the concrete. Steady, practiced, unafraid. Or almost unafraid. For years, Mara had worked emergencies in the darkest corners of the city. She'd seen everything: overdoses, fires, violence, tragedy. Nothing shocked her anymore. At least, that's what she told herself on nights like this. Nights that felt colder than reason, even inside her bones. Her radio crackled at her side. A sharp pop. Then a whisper. Mara. It wasn't a voice she recognized. And it wasn't the dispatcher. She paused beneath a flickering street lamp. The light blinked in 3 slow beats. Then 3 fast. A pattern. A message. And something deep within her chest tightened. Faulty wiring, she muttered to herself. But the city felt wrong. Like it was turning its face away from her. Like it didn't want her here. She reached her ambulance, parked exactly where she'd left it. Except now, the back doors were wide open. Cold air spilled out in a rolling wave. Fog pouring across the street like steam from a cracked tomb. Mara Quinn, a 24-year-old night shift paramedic with a scar across her left brow and storm-gray eyes, lifted her flashlight and stepped inside. Her breath left her in a single hard exhale. Claw marks raked across the ceiling. Fresh ones. Deep ones. Metal peeled away like wet paper. She ran her hand across the grooves. The metal was still warm, as if whatever carved it was hiding nearby, or watching. Her radio crackled again. Help! A child's voice this time. Weak. Frightened. Mara's instincts surged instantly. She jumped out of the ambulance and scanned the street. Nothing. No movement. Only fog. Only silence. Then, something giggled. High-pitched. Echoing. Children. Invisible children. Their laughter danced around her, weaving through the fog, circling her. And then the streetlights, every single one, shattered above her, bursting like glass screams. Her heart slammed once against her ribs. Not fear. Not yet. Just adrenaline. She followed the laughter. Down the alley. Through the dark. Past dumpsters and broken brick walls, whispering with graffiti that hadn't been there yesterday. The sound led her to a building she recognized. The old hospital. The one that had shut down after the fire. The one that still smelled like burnt wires and grief. Of course, she whispered. Of course it's here. The door groaned as she pushed it open. Inside, the air was colder. Still. Watching. Her boots echoed through the lobby. Until they didn't. Until another set of footsteps joined hers. A perfect echo. Then not perfect. Then closer. A reflection flickered in the shattered glass desk panel. A shape. Human. But wrong in the ways only nightmares understand. It tilted its head toward her, smiling with a mouth too wide, too present, too hungry. But when she turned, nothing was there. The whispers grew louder. Footsteps skittered behind her, then in front of her, then above her. Something was guiding her deeper. Down into the hospital basement. Down into the morgue. The cold hit her like a tidal wave. The lights overhead flickered violently, casting long shadows that stretched like claws across the walls. A sheet lay draped across a single gurney in the center of the room. It rose. Just slightly. Just enough. Mara stepped forward. The sheet dropped. Empty. The fog in her chest thickened. And then, she heard it. A heartbeat. Not hers. Not human. It pulsed from the walls themselves. Slow. Heavy. Growing louder with each beat. The air shivered. Then the floor shifted. She staggered back as the tiles beneath her feet rippled. Like skin. Like muscle contracting. Like something buried beneath was waking up. And then the voice returned. Mara. Not a whisper now. A growl. Something moved in the shadows behind the freezers. A shape forming. Tall, thin, stitched together from smoke and bone and grief. Its fingers stretched impossibly long, curling around the steel handles of the morgue doors like a lover tracing a spine. Mara stepped back, but the door behind her slammed shut. She was locked in. She forced her breathing to slow. She wasn't helpless. She'd survived worse. She'd survived the fire. She'd survived the night her partner vanished. She'd survived the night the shadows first started whispering. Her throat tightened. She knew that voice. She hadn't wanted to admit it. She hadn't wanted to hear it again. Her partner's voice. The voice she'd heard the night he disappeared into the flames. Mara, you left me. The creature stepped forward. Smoke peeled away from its face, revealing familiar features. Burnt, broken, melting. His eyes were hollow pits, yet somehow still full of blame. Her chest cracked with guilt. She had tried to save him. She had tried so hard, but the ceiling collapsed before she could reach him. She had never forgiven herself. The creature lunged, but Mara moved fast, rolling beneath his reach, grabbing a fallen metal tray, swinging hard. The blow cut straight through smoke. Useless, but it bought her seconds. Seconds she needed. She sprinted for the emergency stairs. The lights exploded as she ran. Something chased her, slamming against the walls, scraping its claws along the metal railings, roaring her name. She burst onto the rooftop, gasping for air. The city below was wrong. Lights flickering in impossible patterns. Shadows crawling across buildings like living stains. And above it all, a cloud of dark creatures circled the sky, screaming without sound. The world had shifted, and she was at the center of it. The door behind her blew open. The demon stepped out, towering now, full, whole, a being of smoke, bone, and vengeance. Her partner's face flickered across its skull once more. You left me. Mara's storm gray eyes narrowed. No, she whispered. You left yourself. I survived, and I'm done running from the things that want me dead. The creature roared, shaking the entire rooftop. Mara didn't hesitate. She charged. It swung. She slid beneath its arm, grabbed the emergency flare from her belt, and struck it against the ground. The brilliant red flame roared to life. The creature screamed. She drove the flare straight into its chest. Light exploded outward, blinding, burning, cleansing. The demon thrashed, unraveling into smoke, into ash, into nothing. And then, silence. Real silence. For the first time that night, the city took a breath. So did she. Mara Quinn, a 24-year-old night shift paramedic with a scar across her left brow and storm gray eyes, walked to the edge of the rooftop and stared out over the trembling skyline.